Greetings and welcome there, people of YouTube. In this video I shall be refuting the Kalam Cosmological argument, or KCA. The argument is one that's been used by Jewish, Christian and Muslim theologians alike and is based on two premises with a third conclusion. Premise 1. Everything that has a beginning of its existence has a cause of its existence. Premise 2. The universe has a beginning of its existence. Conclusion. The universe has a cause of its existence. This is the part where the theist states that this cause is therefore their God. There are a number of angles to be taken when refuting the above, but first let us look at some terminology. When I use the word assumption, I am discussing an unproven statement that is asserted into the discussion. Now, my first issue with the KCA is that it presents itself as being based on universal laws, yet is in fact distorting these laws in an attempt to fit the argument. The first premise, i.e. the law of cause and effect, does not speak of the creation of matter and/or energy. This has never been observed and therefore is unknown and currently an untestable hypothesis. The law of cause and effect applies to the changing state of matter, whether it is the rearranging of atoms or the change from solid to liquid to gas and vice versa, as well as the transferal of energy, whether it be releasing it via heat, motion or sound, as well as storing it once again. This is where the laws of cause and effect have been observed, and therefore are not necessarily applicable to the creation of energy and matter. Therefore, this argument is committing an equivocation fallacy with the aid of colloquial semantics. Technically, when you paint a painting or build a house, you are not really creating anything on the atomic level. All you are doing is using what already exists and turning it into something new on a grander scale. So to stress once more, this means that it is not in any way equatable with the creation of either energy or matter. A second issue I have with this argument is the obvious use of a special pleading fallacy. If everything requires a cause, then we have something known as an infinite regression. In the simplest of terms, who created the creator, which would go on forever? The only way for the theist to overcome this is merely to state that God is therefore not restrained by the laws of cause and effect that they assume apply to the universe. The simplest way to overcome this? Beat them to the punchline, aka the point of beginning. Assert that the universe in first coming into existence is not restrained by these laws either. If we can imagine this like a flowchart, the assumptions being highlighted in red. As you can see, we both agree up to the point the universe began existence. I then make the assumption that it was capable of doing so without a creator. This is equivalent to their assumption that God was capable of doing so without a creator. However, between this assumption and the idea that the universe began, they also require extra assumptions. God created the universe and God exists. So if we remove the parallel assumptions, we see that the theist is now left with two assumptions, remembering them to be unbacked claims. So what is the impact of this? Well, Occam's razor is a philosophical tool which may be shortened to the principle that in explaining something, no more assumptions should be made than are necessary, i.e. the argument which can get the furthest to answering the question with the least number of assumptions is philosophically and scientifically the superior one and should be taken until new evidence comes to light. What I have shown through leveling the playing field by refusing to acknowledge the theist special pleading fallacy that only a God may exist without a creator is showing that he is an unnecessary step. Adding two additional assumptions in comparison to my own assumption that the universe may exist without a creator. That's not to state that no matter what, that my argument is the superior one, as if they proved the existence of God and that their proposed God created the universe, these would cease to be assumptions, levelling our arguments to equal ground. However, the moment that they prove these two assumptions, the KCA becomes obsolete as an argument. You see, the KCA requires the theist to prove that God exists and that he created the universe prior to using it. However, its very existence is designed to prove these two things. Therefore, the KCA is circular by design and self-supporting. The Kalam cosmological argument proves the existence of God. Why? Because it proves he exists. And that's not an argument at all. Thank you for watching. This is Essence of Thought. Out.